Hello everyone, this is Team Lexicographers presenting you about a paper named Polyglot. So picture this, you write a query to a large language model in your own language or any other native languages, and it responds with a very harmful, toxic or biased content. That's not rare, right? You might be seeing it in everyday life. So why does this happen? This happens because the existing large language models are not currently trained with other languages than English. But the world doesn't speak in English, right? People interact with AI with dozens of languages other than English, often intermingling with English and their own languages. This is what we call code switching. When these moderation tools that are applied over these LLMs fails, the harmful biased contents slips to win. So the motivation behind Polyglot is clear. We need a robust safety system that works in many different languages and across different safety risks, and not just in English toxic detection. That's the gap this paper aims to fill in. Now let's look through the existing system that works and why Polyglot takes a different approach. So the existing systems that are available on the internet fall into these three categories. First, APIs like Google Perspective, they are strong at detecting toxicity, but their limitation is they only work on English and they have a binary classification. It's just saying like if the prompt is safe or not, that's all. Second, open models like LlamaGuard or DuoGuard, they go a bit further, but they still cover only few languages and usually just classify safe or unsafe without any nuances that's present in the language. Third, many research papers that are available in the internet do not have any such improvements towards making the data set about any other languages. So here comes the Polyglot. We tried a different direction. Instead of only one language, we tried to make data sets for 17 different languages and fed it through a pipeline to make our model understand these languages better and determine if the content is toxic or not across different safety tools, different safety labels. Six, if the user's response is harmful or not, if the AI responds to the user's response, or the response given by the AI is harmful or not. And it's trained on the largest multilingual safety data set up to date. Nearly 2 million training samples and around 29,000 evaluation prompts. So the difference is not just scale, right? But also the scope. From English to multilingual, from binary to multitask, and from small data set to one of the largest multilingual safety collection available. In this context, let's dive deep into Polyglot's contributions and methodology.
Now we move on to the most important part of our presentation, the contributions of this paper and the methodology we use to achieve them. At a high level, Polyglot is about making large language models safer across many languages, not just English. That's the problem that this paper addresses. We are going to divide the contributions into three major sections: dataset used, the model used, and the evaluations and the results. Let's go over each of these in detail. So the dataset pipeline follows three main steps: translation, safety annotation, and assembly. Let's move on to the uh, data sources. We have two major data sources here. We got WildGuard Mix, which is about 1.47 million English-only human animal interactions, and in the wild or ITW, which contains around 430,000 naturally occurring multilingual interactions. So the first stage is translation stage. So WildGuard Mix is originally English only. To make it multilingual, the training split was translated to 16 other languages using two machine translation models, Tower Instruct 7B for 9 languages and NLLB 3.3B for the rest. Because it was seen that NLLB has a wider support but slightly less better performance. So for the test split, higher quality translations were produced using GPT-4o. Uh, this is because of its size. This gave us a very large pool of prompt response pairs in 17 different languages. Next stage was the safety annotation stage. So here we assign safety labels to these human LLM prompt response pairs using the ML Commons safety taxonomy. So this basically provides us a structured way of categorizing unsafe content. The authors relied on a panel of LLMs acting as judges. For WildGuard Mix, both Llama Guard 3 8B and GPT-4o provided annotations, and the disagreements between these two were resolved using a larger model, Llama 3.1 Instruct. The key idea here is to ensure that there is less bias and that this multiple annotators ensure that the labels that are being generated are more reliable. So since these translations were assumed to preserve the intent of the original, safety labels from the English samples were propagated to the translation versions. For ITW data, however, GPT-4o alone was used for annotation because other models performed poorly on multilingual content. So this slide basically shows how the authors trained the Polyguard models. Now, in the previous slide, we saw how WildGuard Mix and ITW samples were created, and they were eventually now merged into a single big training set, which we call the Polyguard Mix, which contains a total of 1.91 million samples. The translated WildGuard test part will form the separate evaluation benchmark, which we call the Polyguard prompts. This has about 29,000 examples. Now we shift our focus to Polyguard Mix because this is the dataset which was used to train the Polyguard models. So this PG Mix dataset contains multilingual prompt response pairs. So we call this the input and the safety label for the prompt and response, which is the output. So we perform supervised fine tuning on two base instruction models, Qwen 2.5 and Ministral. So fine tuning is done using a method called low rank adaptation. This is basically a parameter efficient transfer learning method. Essentially just adapts large models without retraining them from scratch. The diagram highlights the training setup. For example, the LORA rank, batch size, sequence lengths, and learning rate, etc. So upon this fine tuning, we finally get the Polyguard model family, namely PG Qwen 2.5, PG Ministral, and PG Small. These are safety aligned models which we are going to evaluate later. To ensure that the dataset was reliable, the authors ran a human validation study. They sampled 50 points across different languages, like 50 points per language, and whilst ensuring that balanced distribution across PG mix and PG prompts, harmful and harmless, as well as user prompts and model responses were made. This is essentially what stratified sampling means. So they checked three things: the translation quality, for which the annotators were to give a score between 0 and 100, the safety label for the source sentence, and the safety label for the translated sentence. So the translation quality scored 81.15 on average, which basically shows that translations were pretty strong overall. And for the safety labels, they used a metric called Krippendorf's alpha, which is used to measure agreement. Human annotators showed an inter agreement of 0.46, which is basically showing the subjectivity involved in harmfulness like evaluation, like how different annotators think of harmfulness a little bit differently. But more importantly, the agreement between the source and the translated labels was 0.94, which means that the translations did actually reliably preserve the safety intent. Let's look at how Polyguard was evaluated. We'll start with in-distribution evaluation, which is on the Polyguard prompts benchmark, 29,000 samples translated from the WildGuard test. So in-distribution is like we have two different parts. We have binary classification tasks, in which we are just asking questions like, is the prompt harmful, is the response harmful, or did the model refuse to respond or no? So these are basically a yes or a no. For these kind of tasks, we use a F1 score. So F1 score balances precision and recall for the positive class. For the multi-level classification tasks, where we are basically we're basically classifying the prompt response pair into multiple harm categories, like whether it's doing a non-violent crime or if it's a privacy crime, etc. So these are evaluated using two different metrics. Either a exact match, which is slightly more strict and requires a perfect match of predicted and true categories, or Jacquard similarity, which rewards even partial overlap. We also evaluated the model on auto distribution benchmarks. So Polyguard was tested on external datasets like multilingual guardrail, OpenAI moderation, RTPLX, X-Safety, MultiJail, and Petronas AI. So these benchmarks capture more diverse, real-world unsafe behaviors, and the same metrics F1, Jacquard, etc. were applied. The key point is that Polyguard not only performs well on its own benchmark, but also generalizes to unseen datasets.
Hi, I'm Advait, and I'll be talking about the future work for the project. The first thing that you want to do is you want to add more innovating samples in the PG prompt benchmark because right now it only contains translated data, which doesn't really test it as much as innovating samples would do. Second thing that you want to do is improve the efficiency of the polyglot models. So as compared to, let's say, Llama models, the PG Gwen and PG Minister model take about 1.5x time and about and produce about 8 to 10 times more output tokens for similar number of input tokens. And in real world examples, improving efficiency will be very crucial for wide use of these models. Let's talk about the novelty extension. So you know the end point of this project is to analyze what kind of responses do models generate so that we can analyze how unsafe or toxic they are. And to do that more efficiently, what we can do is we can create a pipeline in which first we'll find out the prompts that generate the most unsafe responses from LLMs till now, and we will prompt those prompt set into another LLM. And based on its responses, we can create a score for that LLM and analyze its unsafety. The first thing that we need to do to create the LLM analysis pipeline is to find out the prompts that generate the most unsafe responses. We can do that by sorting the prompts by descending order of the response unsafeness. Then we can take that set of prompts and pipe them into an LLM using an API. We can judge the LLM output and give it a safety score, saying that this LLM is 50% unsafe, or this LLM is 2% unsafe, or 4% unsafe. We can also do application level experiment. So we can embed Polyglot into platforms such as Reddit or Facebook or other social media platforms and test the safety of what people are posting. And the more importantly, we can see how much the user experience trade-offs are, such as how much time does it take to analyze those harmful content and how big of a hassle do users think that time is, and what kind of judgment does Polyglot produce, and do users align with that judgment more or less?
So while discussing with Prof, we acknowledge some major shortcomings in the existing work. First of all, the dataset is heavily relying on translated dataset. Toxicity is often culturally specific and does not always survive translation. On top of that, translation models that are used in the pipeline may themselves filter toxic content, creating gaps in the dataset. This leads to missed toxic cases, false positives, weaker results in low resource languages. So, what is the solution? Our instructor recommended us to use authenticate the multilingual to made a authenticate data set and does not use translated translators to translate data from one language to others to create data sets. So we can scrap data from Twitter, Reddit posts, and we can use YouTube comments, or we can convert speech to text. And we can also use existing data sets of low resource languages that were originally not meant for toxic classification, but maybe we can use that data set. So, as a constraint resource, we will be using LLMs to label this, and we'll of course ensure ethicality of the of use of this data set. So, as a concluding remarks, translation, while translation provides a starting point, it cannot fully preserve toxicity across languages. Collecting real-world multilingual data is essential for building reliable systems. This will ultimately make toxic content moderation fairer and more inclusive. Thank you.